Hi everyone! Hey Wolf! Why is this not catching my... Okay, let's see. Motion controller. Speed motion. How you doing, Wolf? Are you here for some Yuri novel? No device connected. It is connected. What do you mean? Lurking as always? Nice. Let's see. We can get this done. Sorry if this is taking a little bit of time. I just want you all to have the basic... There we go. Now we have hands. Finally. Okay.
Ooh, I needed that break.
Let's load the chapter 2. Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, if you weren't here last time, Miho just told her new friends, Aspen, and I cannot remember her name. Victoria? Nah, that's a mount. So she explained that her special abilities and that she is a fox. So let's go. For the second day in a row, I wake up in a soft bed. My bed. It's early. The library downstairs is silent. No one else is here aside from Juliet. Juliet was her name. Juliet. Didn't even transform before falling asleep last night. Just passed out like this with human arms and legs. No wonder I'm sore. I agreed to Juliet's offer. The rest of the day passed by quickly. Aspen and Juliet showed me around the house, part of the library, and Juliet made dinner for the three of us. Aspen didn't leave until the evening, and I decided to go to bed early. After the whirlwind of emotions I went through yesterday, I was exhausted and fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. Not having to be on alert the moment I open my eyes is a nice change. I can toss and turn and even doze a little bit longer. I get as much rest as my body will let me. Once I've had my fill of being lazy, I finally crawl out of bed.
Okay, time to get up.
It doesn't take me long to get ready. I tiptoe to the door out of habit, so carefully that only someone with super keen hearing would be able to hear me. But then I remember.
Oh yeah, I don't need to sneak around while I'm here.
So cute. I loosen up and step out into the hallway, shutting the door behind me. Being so openly noisy is almost harder than being sneaky. The building is still. Juliet told me to come find her when I wake up. So I make my way down the hallway towards the room she showed me yesterday. It's one of the last in the hall, packed away in the corner. Unlike the other doors, a tiny bit of flickering light escapes from the cup below.
This is the place.
Now that I'm standing here, my nerves start to get the better of me. What if she forgotten me this time and chases me away? Or what if... Screw my eyes shut and take a deep breath, pushing away my worries. If I'm going to stay here for a while. I need to stop thinking like that. I can't let that fear keep winning. Forcing myself to be brave, I twist the door knob and enter. Wait, should have knocked, shouldn't I? It's too late now. I step into the room only to be struck by how dark it is. With just one window, the main light source is a candlelit lamp, illuminating the white-clothed figure sitting at her desk. Just like the library downstairs, there are rows and rows of books covering the shelves around the room. Juliet looks up to greet me, a gentle smile written on her face.
Oh, good morning, Miho. Did you sleep well?
She remembered me. I might relieve, I think.
I sure did. I think that might have been the best sleep I ever had.
I'm most glad to hear it. Would you like to sit down?
Oh, sure. Thanks.
There is only one other seat, so I awkwardly sit down across from her. It feels a little bit like an interrogation.
Would you like some tea?
I've never had tea, so I don't know if I like it or not. I think I should accept her offer out of politeness, though.
Sure.
Aww, look at her face. She's not enjoying it. Juliet pulls out a teacup from a shelf nearby and sets it on a little plate. Then pours tea without spilling a single drop. She puts the plate with the cup over to me.
Sugar.
I've eaten enough human snacks to know that I like sugar.
Yes, please.
Oh, she's happy. Juliet offers me a small pot full of white little cubes. Without hesitating, I take two and toss them in my mouth. They're kind of crunchy at first, but quickly fall apart. Juliet frowns just a little, enough that a human probably wouldn't notice. Did I do something wrong? Wait, I know.
Oh, thank you.
That gets her to smile, so I'm pretty sure I did the right thing.
We'll have breakfast in a little while. Aspen usually comes by to help open the library, and then we eat together.
That sounds nice. Does she help out because of the sunlight?
My, that's astute of you. You're correct. Although I'm able to tolerate a bit of sun, I do prefer the dark. I wasn't sure if you knew I was a vampire or not.
I figured it out just now. That explains how you were able to hear me and find my den, huh?
Indeed. That said, I have my dear friend Orpheus to thank for helping me know where to find you.
Orpheus? Something scratches in the corner of the room, and I look up to notice a large bat dangling from a hook on one of the shelves. Has that been there this entire time?
Is he also...
No, Orpheus is a bat through and through, not a vampire. He happened to notice you on his way home one day.
So that's the friend you were talking about. I was wondering about that.
I have the pleasure of knowing several of Wellington's local bats. They keep me apprised of news from around the city.
Ooh.
You're not, like... you know...
That one of my front teeth, not sure how to ask the question politely.
Oh, heavens no! I consume as little blood as one of my kind can, and what I do partake of is freely donated.
have to say, the art of this game is very cute. Oh, honestly, the artist of this game is the best. It's I don't know how much she did about it, but I know she does a lot. Let me just get her Twitter. There. The whole company that makes this game, it's awesome. All their titles are Yuri visual novels and they are amazing. So those are the two links that you need to know about this game. The first one is one of the artists that made characters in this game, and the second one is the company. You're gonna love them. I mean, if you love this game, you're gonna love them. And I love this game so much.
I love this city and its people. I'd never had them like that. Besides, I had quite enough of that during my time in the underworld. Is that where you come from as well?
Oh, I'm not from the underworld. I'm from Korea. I've heard lots about it, though. I'm one of the only fabled I know of who doesn't come from there. For a long time, I didn't even know that other fabled existed.
Indeed. Gumio like yourself are some of the few I know of.
Wait, Gumiho? Is that what I'm called? That explains a lot.
Gumio?
You didn't know, but you go by the name Miho.
Just because I like the sound, I thought it was more like a nickname. I change it up wherever I go. Gumi, Homie, Migu. I've never had a real name. I didn't even know I had a kind. I've never met someone else like me.
Oh, she's so cute.
I wonder if we'd have much in common.
Apple the Fox says, well, Gumiho, live the same kind of life I had? Maybe they are better at fitting in with people that I am. That's why I've never seen one.
Are there any other Gumio in Wellington?
None that I know of. It's possible, though.
I'm not sure what I'd say if I did meet one.
I'd wonder about others like me before, but since I've never met one, I eventually assume they don't exist. Finding out that they do, and that there is even a name for us, comes as a pretty big surprise. No matter how long I've been alive, there's still so much that I don't know about the world. As our discussion tapers off, the sound of the front door reaches my ears from downstairs. Juliet must have heard it too, looking over as I do.
Oh, that'll be Aspen. Shall we go down to breakfast?
I'll never say no to that.
Isn't she cute? Juliet takes to her feet, blowing out the lamp as she goes. Orpheus, the bat, leaves the study when we do, though he flies off in a different direction. I guess he won't be joining us for the meal. Have to be careful not to spill my cup of tea as we walk down the stairs. Aspen waits at the bottom, a large book tucked on her arm. She waves with her free hand to greet us.
Good morning, Aspen. It's nice to see you again.
Good morning, Juliet. And you too, Miho. I must admit, I was a little worried you might run off during the night.
Aww. Cute.
I may have thought about it a little.
Aww.
After I went to bed, though, I was out like a light.
Hmm.
Glad you decided otherwise then. Living in the library sounds like heaven. I can't believe you'd think about giving that up.
Aww.
Anyway, I'm opening today, so I can't stay too late. I'll go ahead and take care of the windows.
I'll get started on breakfast then. Would you like grape or strawberry jam?
I think I'm feeling like strawberry today. Oh, or some of that orange marmalade if there's any left.
Hmm.
You have to let Miho try that too.
I'll see if we have it. Is that a nonce you have with you? You can just leave him on the desk for now.
It sure is. I'll be taking Jacques on the way out.
Not sure what they're talking about.
I'll write it down.
The two of them stroll off in different directions while I stand on the stairs, unable to follow any of the conversation.
Who's Jax? Anonsei? I don't see anyone with you.
Aww.
This is a nonce.
She taps the cover of the book she brought with her.
He's the author of this. Juliet suggested I read some of his work, but I'm finding him rather dull.
Okay. Why?
Huh.
Try my best to sound interested, but books are the most boring thing I can imagine. Maybe I'd see the appeal if I could read them, but how can they be better than doing things yourself? After setting the book down on the front desk, Aspen goes into the main room, leaving me alone in the hallway. I make my way down the rest of the steps. Looking at my teacup, I decide to take a tiny sip. Yuck! It's kind of bitter, but also blunt at the same time. Running, I set the cup down on one of the shelves nearby. At least I tried it. The sugar was way better though. The door Aspen went through is still open and I can hear her bustling around. The room where Juliet went isn't far away either, and I already smell food. I guess I'll go watch. Who should we go watch? I mean, a vampire is really interesting. But the cute librarian is the cute librarian. Wolf? Who would you go check out? Aspen or Juliet? Do you like Juliet more? Let's go for Juliet. Follow my nose and head to the kitchen. There is a big frying pan on the stove with a blob of melting butter sizzling in it. Juliet gives the pan a push to move it around before walking to the counter to continue her work.
That smells great.
Oh, Miho, go ahead and take a seat if you'd like. This shouldn't take long.
I do what she suggests and sit down at the diner table in the same spot as yesterday. Lovely smells swirl around the room as she opens this jar and that.
What you making?
Fried eggs and toast with some fresh fruit. It's what we usually have. Is that all right with you?
Cooking, we made the right choice. She will cook for us anyways, you know? That's what she said. She was going to make breakfast.
Better than alright. I'm almost drooling just thinking about it.
I hope that it lives up to expectations then.
I watch as she quickly butters a few slices of bread and then tosses them into another pan on the stove. While it cooks, she takes an apple from a nearby bowl of fruit and cuts out the core before swiftly chopping it into perfectly even pieces.
Sure did that fast.
Practice makes perfect, as they say, and I've had quite a lot of practice.
Ooh. After moving the apple slices into a plate, she takes an orange and starts to do the same thing.
The bats enjoy fruit as well, so I tend to keep a lot of it around the house. If there are any items you'd like me to keep around the house for you, do let me know.
Ew. Something tells me that snacks from the convenience store aren't what she has in mind.
I'll tell you if I think of anything.
Hi, Briar. We are playing a gay visual novel. How you doing? Juliet finishes the fruit before dropping the eggs into the pan with butter, where they start to sizzle too. Finally, she slides the toast out and onto a plate. Right as the eggs finish cooking, and Juliet sets the table for the three of us, Aspen daintily steps into the
All
room.
set on my end.
I'm doing alright. I have a little bit of headache and I haven't slept much, but I'm alright. And my tracking, it's going haywire. Just try to fix it. Just move your fucking thing. Okay, let's see. I think this is better. All right.
Thank you. I just finished cooking too.
As we all sit down and dig in, the food, of course, is delicious.
So, Miho, how will you be spending your first day as an official Wellington resident?
By the way, Briar, now that you're here, and before I forget again, you sent me your character sheet for D&D. Do you want me to just fill out what is missing and send it back to you so you can just check it out? It's not a problem for me. Also, if you want to do it, it's totally fine. I'm just making a suggestion for you. I'll do, don't worry. I'm here to help you out, as I'm here to help Elfie out, or Max, whoever needs it, okay? So you don't worry too much.
I don't know yet. Hadn't really thought about it. Now that you mention it, I'll have a lot more free time now, huh? Usually I'd go hunting for food or looking for a better place to stay, or...
Instinctively, I go silent as I reach for my pocket and the familiar crumpling paper.
Or...
If it's something you don't want to share, don't feel that you must.
Right, that too.
I hesitate. I'm not sure I've ever told anyone about what I'm searching for, or at least not the specifics. I've had a lot of first times lately though. What's one more? Besides, maybe the two of them can help.
No, it's okay. I've been looking for someone.
I wipe my hands first, making sure they don't have any cramps or grease on them. Then I carefully slide a thin scroll from my pocket. I always keep it in the deepest spot, where it won't get wet or damaged. With great care, I gently unroll it, letting the two women see the ink marking brush onto the scroll. The edges are fuzzy with age by now, but the text is still legible. Think, anyway.
They gave me this a long time ago. I don't know what it says.
Is that Korean? Maybe Chinese? I'm not able to read either one, unfortunately.
Well, Korean and Chinese are two different markings, alphabets. That's the word. So you can't really tell what's Korean and what's Chinese.
They remind me of older Chinese characters, but I can't be certain myself. sorry, but I'm not too familiar with them either.
It would have been too easy. They look a little defeated, but I quickly wave off their concern.
It's okay. Nobody I've asked could read it either. For all I know, they might just be scribbles. I thought that maybe if I knew what it said, it would help me find them.
Who exactly are they, if I may ask?
They're a traveler. I learned that word just to be able to describe them.
They're cute. Korean is more round, I believe. I mean, it has more circles, that's for sure. You have some characters like lines and circles. And Chinese, it's like more curvy, but not entire circles. And then Japanese uses, for kanji, the Chinese characters. So Japanese and Chinese look a little bit alike sometimes. But if you go for hiragana, it's totally different. Because hiragana describes sounds. Katakana is also sounds, but it's used for foreign words or company names. And sometimes Japanese people use katakana for names because they like it more. So, for instance, for Uchiha Sasuke, they would use katakana for Uchiha and hiragana for Sasuke.
They were the first human I ever met, and they told me stories about the rest of the world.
Oh, those emotes from Mega are adorable.
And you've been searching for them ever since then?
Oh, by the way, Wolf, we are having a poll in my Discord for which game to play this Saturday. So if you have any suggestion, please vote. The more votes, the better. Then we know what to play. If no one votes, I will go with VR chat, and that will be it. And I don't expect many people joining in VR chat because it's not many of my followers have a VR headset and they don't feel comfortable in VR chat. Almega's emotes are great. Could be. I really love Sif's. Sif's emotes are great. They are adorable. I love them so much. I almost use them as much as puffins. Not puffins from Sif's chat, but Rpuff. If you know them. Like, let me just type some. Like this one.
Yup. For as long as I can remember. I met them back in Korea, when I was a fox. I couldn't understand what they were saying. Not until much later.
You can't use a headset, Dr. Flitout told me no. Briar, you can also join in desktop mode. It's not a big deal, it's just you need a laptop with VR chat, and you join, and you get headpads. Reminiscing about them gives me a very particular feeling. It's warm and fuzzy, but also a little sad. I think people call it nostalgia. My voice is a little quieter as I finish what I mean to say. Of course, that given if you have a laptop. I do not know if you have one. But also if you want to play another game, just vote as well. I know that you wanted to play Elite Dangerous last time. Maybe this time we can play together. My voice is a little quieter as I finish what I meant to say.
But that never stopped them from coming to see me. I don't know their name or even where they're from, but I'll definitely recognize them when I see them again.
Both Aspen and Juliet are quiet for a moment, visibly thinking over what I've said. For a long while, it's Juliet who speaks first.
In that case, I'd be happy to assist in any way I can.
Me too, of course. Speaking of which, I may have found something useful to you.
Aww,
I
what
was
is it?
doing a little bit of research on Gumiho last night. There was surprisingly little to be found compared to some of the other fabled.
Wait a sec. You found out that I'm a Gumio too?
Cute.
Well, yes, it wasn't too difficult to look up. Is that odd?
I love her face. Like, wait, you found out too? So in less than a day, both Aspen and Juliet were able to learn something about myself that I couldn't in a lifetime.
I guess not.
I only realize how I sound after I've said that. Juliet shoots a look at Aspen, who quickly tries to move the discussion along.
Anyway, I was trying to find out why Juliet and I can remember you when nobody else can. Although I didn't find anything about memories in particular, there was one story that claimed a Gumiho's curse doesn't take effect until a full day later.
Ooh.
Oh, of course. And since you and I both saw Miho again before too much time passed, we didn't forget her.
That makes sense.
Right, that also makes sense from what you told us yesterday, Miho, doesn't it? You said you don't tend to talk to people a second time.
Yeah, I usually try to avoid it, really.
I was being a bad lesbian. I was just sitting straight. I feel more comfortable now. I hadn't even thought of my magic as a curse before, but I guess to the person who forgets me, it is.
So that means that all we have to do to avoid forgetting about Miho is...
It's impossible to miss the pause before Aspen's words. Like, she's not confident in what she's about to say.
see her every day. Forever.
Forever. That word hangs in the air. Aspen says it cheerfully, but even I can recognize just how impossible that is. At some point, even these two will forget me one day. Why even try then? Why bother if I know it'll just hurt in the end? On cue, those kinds of thoughts start swirling in my head like always. It's so tempting to just stop caring and giving up on others. No, I won't let myself dwell on that. Not on my first day living here. Who knows? Even if it's a long time from now, maybe these thoughts will go away for good. Juliet clears her throat before the silence goes on for too long.
Well, that's not bad at all. Preserving the memory of those you hold dear is one of the most important parts of life.
Aww. Aspen ponders for a moment before nodding.
It really is.
Aww, cute. Seems a little early for either of them to consider me dear to them, but I keep that to myself.
So, anyway, about Jax?
For her relief, Aspen changes the subject away from me and my magic. As Juliet and Aspen chat between themselves, the conversation drifts onto things I don't know about, and people and places I don't recognize. It's all probably related to books. I smile and laugh when they do, but I'm not really paying attention or talking. Listening to the two of them, they might as well be speaking a different language. The more I observe, the more it seems I'll have to learn. Not just about the normal people and human life, but about myself as well, and even the world. It's Mimo. Hi, Justerfly. How you doing? Hold the Mimo gently. Wait. I will do that. Let me just... I hold Mimo. I hold Mimo. It's my Mimo. In one day, both Aspen and Juliet were able to figure out that what I am and how my magic works. I've had a long time to do that and still had no idea. It doesn't even seem like it was hard for them. This is the best thing about just having a lip motion controller, that I can just use my hands and just try to grab Mimo. The worst thing is that I could not put Mimo in VisiFace, so it's just an asset on my stream. Because as soon as I put Mimo and then I hide the UI, it goes away. It disappears. It's stupid. But I don't know if I can use another program. I mean, I know I can use another program, but it's just like, I know that VisiFace can do so much more than, for instance, what was the name? VTuber Studio? Something like that. No, VTuber Editor. And VTuber Editor, I would have to pay for it, and this one is free. Also, you see up there? We are 5 followers away from a karaoke stream. So if you'd like to see me sing on stream, grab 5 friends and tell them to follow. There's something that I have to admit to myself. I haven't really tried before. Barb, please. Look at your followers. Don't look on the right, don't look on the left. Just stay focused there. Yeah. Just what have I been missing out on? Feels something bubbling up inside of me. The same feeling as yesterday when I decided to come back to the library instead of running away. Something that makes me clench my fists and take a deep breath as I make another decision. Something that I realize I can put a name to, even though it's a new one for me. This is what people call hope, even if it's pointless in the end.
I want to learn how to be a person.
Their faces are just like, that's weird. Juliet cuts off wherever she was saying mid-sentence. Both she and Aspen turned to face me, eyes wide. Oops, I guess I should have started by waiting for them to stop talking.
You want to... what?
I've already messed this up, but I keep going.
Be a person. to know about the things you two are talking about. All this stuff that you give me a weird look for when I don't know. I want to learn about it.
Oh, I love her so much.
I'd say that you're already well on your way.
Her expression becomes quite serious as she continues. I'm a little glad. She sees as much weight behind this as I feel about it.
Miho, there are some things that you can't rush or change overnight. This is definitely one of them. That said...
But by the way, is the game audio right? Do I need to just bump it up or down? Hi Possum! How you doing, Dima?
Starting can be the hardest part. You've already taken the first steps.
What Juliet said. I'm sorry, too. I didn't mean to keep you out of our conversation.
No, it's okay. I was busy thinking anyway. I can't stop looking for my person, of course, but maybe I can do more than that too.
We'll help you in any ways that we can.
Aren't they cute? Aren't they the best? Aspen nods in agreement, and then takes the time aside.
It'll have to wait until later, though, because I need to be leaving for work. I'm sure Juliet needs her rest, too.
Thanks. I am rather tired. Will you be alright on your own for the day, Miho?
Yeah, I should be. I'll figure out something to do.
Aww.
Wonderful. Here, let me take those.
She gets up and collects the dirty plates, then carries them to the sink.
Tomorrow I have to go in earlier than usual to open. If you come by, I can make you that drink again, Miho. As long as you promise not to run away, that is.
Sure. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere this time. Although... will it still be at home?
At home?
Like... free?
Oh, on the house! Yes, of course! This should probably be the last time, though, or my boss will start getting upset.
Aww.
Aw, okay. It was nice while it lasted.
Aspen pauses as she rises from the table and starts to leave.
You know, getting a job might be a good idea if you're serious about living a normal life.
I mean, she's good at stealing stuff.
It's hardly the most fun, but then you could buy as many fairy kiss chillers as you want.
Job? Sounds like a pain.
It is a pain. Having a job is a pain. Aspen just sighs, and I sink into my seat. The way she talks about having a job makes it sound awful.
Well, it's just a suggestion. See you later, Juliet. Miho.
With that, she takes her leave as Juliet and I wave her off. After a distant sound of Juliet shutting her bedroom door, the whole library is silent, leaving me alone with my thoughts in the kitchen. The front doors are unlocked and open to everyone, so it's just a matter of time until the first guests arrive.
Well, what do I do now?
The empty room doesn't have an answer. Right about now, I'd usually be scrounging for breakfast, or scoping out a new place, or maybe even planning where I'll spend the night. But that with a full belly and a bed to come back to, I don't have to worry about any of that. Instead, I have a lot of free time on my hands.
Guess I'll explore.
It's how I've been spending a lot of my time recently anyway. And while Juliet and Aspen seem fine so far, it's still a little tiring to be around other people so much. Having some alone time is important too. Making my way into town, I try to pay more attention to what people are doing instead of searching for opportunities. I mean what I said about wanting to be more of a person, but small steps are easier for me. And if there is one thing I'm good at, it's observing. Of course, I'll also be keeping an eye out for anything that can help me find my person. But I have to admit that I don't have much of a plan for that. Usually when I go to a new country or city, I'll try to find someone who might know them, or who recognizes my scroll. I usually prefer asking other people. They are easier to deal with than humans. It's not a very efficient plan, if I'm being honest. I'd have to get really lucky for it to work. I haven't come up with any better ideas. Now that Aspen and Juliet have offered to help, maybe they'll be able to think of something new. For now, I'm just killing time. I take it slow passing through the city and even pop into the stores along the way. One is full of musical instruments, while right next door is a store selling kitchen utensils. Across the street there is another place with racks full of used clothes. We step into each store and pace around the aisles, just browsing. Usually I've never come into these kind of shops. Even though they have some expensive stuff, it's all bulky and hard to carry. Plus, I've learned the hard way that some pawn shops and buyers are good at guessing when something's stolen. Now that I'm paying more attention for what's for sale, I realize that I don't even know what a lot of this stuff does. In the kitchen store, there is normal pots and pans and dishes, which makes sense. But there is also a bunch of different gadgets with all kinds of shapes and sizes. I can't even guess what you'd use some of them for. At the music store, I recognize a few instruments like guitars and pianos and drums. There are also a bunch that I've seen before, but I don't know the names of. Mostly the kinds you play with your mouth. Barb, I thought you better late downtime that call. I got to the door and the room spun. Okay, Barrier, just lay down, stay safe, and take care of yourself, okay? I love you a bunch. And you should take care of yourself. Love you. See you. And there are some that I've never seen and can't even be sure and can't even be sure are actually instruments and not some other kind of device. Seem to be the only one having this problem. In both stores, the other customers I've seen all walk around like they know what they are doing, or at least are looking for something in particular. Try to listen in on a conversation that someone's having with a salesperson. But it's just like listening to Aspen and Juliet talk. I don't recognize half the words. In the end, I don't spend long in either store.
This is already harder than I thought.
Nearby there is a clock outside of the store, and it informs me that it's only been an hour or so since I left the library. There is still a long time before Juliet will be up. Guess I'll keep looking around. Although I'm not expecting much, I continue to browse through most of the shops I pass, just for something to do. Think about going by the Bell House and saying hello to Aspen, but when I get there, there's a line out the door and around the building. Peeking through the window, I don't even see her. There's someone else is taking orders at the counter. I don't feel like waiting, so I keep walking instead. I end up walking for as long as I can stand it. Past the skyboard and beach, past Mount Victoria, back towards town yet again. When it eventually gets too boring even for me, I head back to the library. Okay, Wolf. I hope your arts go amazingly well. And I would love to see more of your drawings. You're really talented. And I mean it. It's much busier now than when I left it. There is a pile of books on the desk that people have brought back. And the checkout sheet is half full. Some of the chairs are occupied, and at least a dozen people are browsing the shelves. None of them pay me any mind, even when I grab a snack from the kitchen and then head up to my room. And there, I do the only thing there is to do. Flop onto my bed and look up at the ceiling. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to have a bed to do that in. It doesn't help much right now.
So I can be bored outside or bored inside.
In my normal life, I'm usually too busy to be bored. Having time to rest and relax can be a luxury. Now I've got more time than I know what to do with. I hadn't even realized this would be a problem.
Guess all I can do is wait for Juliet.
Hopefully she'll have some ideas and get the feeling she could give advice on anything.
May as well get comfy.
Yawning, I get under the covers and then transform into a fox. With the soft pillow under my head and the cozy blanket above me, it's a lot like being in a very comfortable den. And after all that walking I did, a nap that sounds pretty nice. If I'm lucky, I won't wake up until Juliet does. Wrapping my tail around my face, I close my eyes and eventually drift off to sleep. It's almost dark out when I finally open my eyes. Just like this morning, it takes a second for me to remember where I am. I burrow my way out of the blankets and then retake my human form, rubbing the sleepiness from my eyes.
That nap worked better than I expected.
Hopefully Juliet will be awake by now. If she isn't, I don't know what I'll do. There's no way I'm falling back asleep anytime soon. Like this morning, when I passed by Juliet's office, there is no light from under the door. I do catch the sound of something going on in the kitchen, so I make my way downstairs. In the kitchen, I'm treated to quite a sight.
Good evening, Miho. I'll be with you in just a moment.
It's not just Juliet in the kitchen, but 3 bats as well. One clings to the back of the chair as sat in this morning, and another is on top of the fridge. The third one is perched on Juliet's shoulder. I think it's the same one that I saw in her office. Juliet's holding a small bag and handing out the contents to the different bats. On closer inspection, I realized that they're bags. All the bats devoured them greedily, including the one nibbling by Juliet's ear. She doesn't seem too bothered and hands them each another treat. Eepy fox, eepy fox. But it's a cute fox. Are you doing alright, Emma? Are you having fun?
All right, here are the last ones.
The bats on the chair and fridge finish their snacks and then fly over my head and out of the kitchen. Their wings nearly clip me in the face, and the gas they create blows my hair around. The last one stays on Juliet's shoulder even after it's finished eating. And then Juliet picks up a small envelope from the counter and tries it to one of the bat's legs.
Thank you, Orpheus. We'll see you soon.
Just listening to stream while doing work, so might not be talking much. That's totally okay. And I totally understand because I usually do the same. I have a stream app while I'm just working. I don't know what you do for work, but I'm a programmer, so I understand that you want something comfy to have in the background while you do work. And I appreciate you being here. Is it the same? Nice. Launching itself off Juliet's shoulder. Excuse me. Orpheus takes flight and exits through one of the library's windows. Even though he was much bigger than the other bats, it doesn't look like Juliet was faced by being used as a launch pad.
My apologies, Miho. You caught me just at dinner time for the bats.
It's okay. I just woke up.
Oh? I take it you had a busy day then?
Well, not really. Just walked around for a while and then took a nap because didn't know what else to do.
I see. I'm sorry to have left you on your own all day.
Aw, Juliet.
I should have made sure you were taken care of before I went to sleep.
You don't have to apologize for that, Juliet. She sure does apologize a lot. Is that what it means to be polite? Makes me kind of uncomfortable. It's not like she did anything wrong.
What are some of your hobbies? There are all manner of things tucked away in this room. All that throughout the library.
Hobbies? I don't think I know that word.
Something you do for fun, just because you enjoy it.
Oh! I don't really have anything like that.
Although she raises her eyebrows, Juliet does not. I'm guessing that wasn't an answer she was expecting.
I think I understand. Well, perhaps that should be our first order of business. I believe you'd find your life much enriched with something amusing to do.
Okay. Like what?
She ponders for a moment, tapping the countertop beside her.
It could be anything. A sport, an art, or even something like watching television. Whatever brings you joy.
Pretty sure I've never tried any of those.
Then, it seems we have plenty of options to start with.
Ooh.
I know you've done a lot of walking today already, but I need to go into town to run some errands. Would you be interested in accompanying me? Maybe we'll see something along the way that strikes your fancy.
Sure. Fine by me. Not like I've got anything better to do.
With a smile, Juliet gathers up some more papers and envelopes from the table and tucks them under her arm.
Let's be off then.
My hand is hurting. Ah. This old wound is just messing with me today. Leaving the library unlocked, we set off down the familiar path. Juliet maintains a brisk pace, but isn't too fast. I like this a lot more than going slow.
So, Miho, how are you enjoying Wellington itself so far?
I like it. It's not too big and it's not too small. Like that there's the ocean and mountains close by.
Yes, we're truly fortunate to live in such a paradise.
How'd you end up here in the first place? You said you came from the underworld, right?
That's correct. Ugh, I was much wilder and irresponsible in those days. But then, I met someone who changed my life. Someone who made me want to be a better person. Part of that meant reinventing myself, with a new life in a new place. Rather like what you've been doing too.
Huh. I can't picture you being crazy like you said.
That's something of a relief, but it was certainly true at the time. Sometimes, it does feel as if I was an entirely different person back then. It can be difficult to reconcile who we were with who we are, or want to be.
Doesn't seem like you had too much trouble with it.
I wouldn't say that. For one, this was very long ago. And even now, I continue to change. Everyone does.
Ah. Change is the only constant variable in the universe. Everything changes, everything evolves. Everything just in some matter doesn't stay constant. Everything have to evolve. If it doesn't evolve, it ceases to exist.
Perhaps in a few hundred years, I'll look back on these days, and they'll also seem like someone else's life.
Maybe.
Not that I think Juliet is lying, but it seems to me like she's just being modest. May not have known her for long, but if anything, she seems a little too perfect. It isn't too late in the evening yet, so there are plenty of older people out and about too. Occasionally, someone will recognize and greet Juliet, and she always gives them a friendly greeting in return. After walking in silence for a couple minutes, I clear my throat.
I've got a question.
What is it?
Do you always walk places?
As opposed to?
Flying?
Flying. Can't you turn into a bat?
Oh, yes. I suppose I can. I do so only sparingly, though. I find that I appreciate life more as a human than as a bat.
That's cute.
Why? That's weird. Like being a fox a lot more. Being a human just feels clumsy. Your arms and legs are way too long and get in the way all the time.
I suppose that's true. It can be quite awkward at times, or even embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly! I've never been embarrassed as a fox.
Aww.
I understand. There are certainly downsides. I believe the good makes up for the bad, though. Some things are only possible as a human, or fabled.
That makes sense. Like, I cannot transform into a horse, but I have hands and have hooves. So I can do most of the things that both can, but for sure I cannot run as fast as a horse. And well, I can do things like a human. And even I am stronger than an average human.
Like what? I can't think of any, other than talking like this.
Like writing, for one thing, as our dear friend Aspen would surely mention. Or perhaps... Like dancing. Have you ever danced, Miho?
I don't think she have ever danced.
Nope, never. I don't get why people do it either. Don't tell me you like dancing. Is that your hobby?
I must confess that I do enjoy it. At times, that is. I wouldn't call it a hobby. But with the right person, at the right moment, it can be quite nice.
That sounds gay. I'm in for it.
If you say so.
Find myself saying that a lot lately. I love that rat. I love that lesbian rat. I even have a better emote. Have you seen it, Dima? There. Oh my. Bottom speech detected. But yeah, I saw that emote from another streamer and I love the idea. She had only the scissors, but it was like, okay, so why not put the trans and the lesbian flag together and have them there? Because that would be awesome. Shaking and flopping out your body around to music? It's not for me. I don't even know how they come up with this stuff. But I'm trying to remember to be polite, so I keep that part to myself. It's a good emote. Thank you! I even drew it myself.
So, on that note, I should have asked this earlier. Are there any hobbies that you have as Fox?
I never thought about it that way. But now that you mention it... Almost everything is better as a fox. The sun feels nicer on my fur than it does on my skin. Flowers smell better and more interesting when I sniff them. It's more... vivid.
I remember Aspen using that word and explaining what it means. I bet she'd be proud if she heard me use it.
You do make it sound lovely. But are those things you do for fun?
Well...
I almost say yes right away, but then I think about it for a second. I do love those things I mentioned, but maybe they don't fit it. They don't fit what Juliet is asking.
I guess not. They feel good, but they're not fun.
That's still valuable too.
So far we've been following the same path that I took earlier when I went into town. But when we come to a crossroads, Juliet turns in the direction of a neighborhood instead of the city.
The first stop I need to make is down here. After that, we'll go look around and see if there's anything fun.
Alright, I'm just following you.
Aww, cute. This isn't the same neighborhood where I hid from Juliet a couple nights ago, although it's pretty similar. Some of these houses are the sort that reminded me of Bugs when I first arrived in Wellington. We stop at one of them, a little one-story house with the porch light on. I follow Juliet to the front door, and she rings the doorbell.
Is this for one of your errands?
Yes, we're delivering those papers that were requested.
Let me just... Oh. I'm stretching a little bit my neck. Oof. So, Dima, do you mind me if I ask what kind of coding do you do? And take your time to answer that. Don't worry. Also, if you want to. Dang it. Wrong buttons. She straightens out the 2 yellow packets she was carrying. The door opens and a young woman carrying a baby stands behind it.
Oh, Miss Juliet! So good to see you.
With one of her trademark smiles, Juliet hands over the paper and the two chat for a bit. I lean against the wall, not involved or listening. When talking to the lady, Juliet uses the same warm tone and softness as when she's talking to me and Aspen. In fact, if I close my eyes, I could almost pretend that I'm back at the breakfast table with both of them, listening to them go on about books. Eventually, the woman takes the folder, and after saying goodbye several times, we leave. As soon as we're off her property, I turn to Juliet.
What was that all about?
I suppose you could call it another one of my hobbies. Sometimes, patrons have requests for information on their ancestors, or a piece of history that they'd like to learn about. For example, Mrs. Aliyu wanted to know about her husband's culture so she could teach her new child. I find and collect what's requested, and bring it to those who asked.
Whoa! Sounds like a lot of work.
It can be, but I don't mind it. The past is worth preserving, but not everyone knows how. It's my honor to help people do so. I have assistants too, such as dear Orpheus, who is delivering a letter on the far side of town for me.
Aww.
Are all the bats your helpers?
Some more than others. They're friends, not pets.
Aww.
And so if they don't feel like helping, then I won't force them.
Aww. I love her. I love Juliet. To me, it sounds like a lot of trouble to go through for someone else. Even with the bats helping out. But Juliet apparently likes being inconvenienced. It's the same as letting me stay in her library. Still, that sounds like it could be really helpful in my own search for the traveler. As Juliet helped lead us to our next destination, I leave the residential area and go back towards the city. Try to keep my eyes peeled for anything interesting. There are plenty of people sitting out at tables having a meal or walking around the shops, but nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, it's not that much different from when I was here earlier. There are more fabled and fewer humans, but there are still plenty of those too. Some of the places I passed by are closed now. Some, like the music store, are still open. When we come to a big building with a lot of posters on the walls outside, we stop.
This is one of our movie theaters. They show all the most popular films, as well as independent ones from local creators.
Ooh!
Have you ever been to see a movie before?
Not in a place like this. I know what movies are, but I don't think I've ever watched one.
You should try it sometime. Maybe you'll find you like them. Movies can make you feel all kinds of different things. Happy, sad, scared, or just amused.
Hmm.
Some are good for making you think, and some are good because you don't have to think about anything and can just relax.
Why would I want to watch something that makes me sad or scares me?
Some people like it.
For some, it's fun to explore different emotions in a safe environment like that. When we see something that makes us feel strongly, it can stick with you. Perhaps cause you to view things in a different light. And if it ever becomes too much, you can simply stop watching or put on something else.
Indeed.
I'll try it sometime. Although, I don't know about the sad or scary ones.
I mean, I like the sad movies. All sad things when I'm just feeling really bad. Just gets me to be really, really sad on a short period of time. I do a really long crying and then it stops. I don't feel sad anymore for a long time. So it's really helpful.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has different preferences.
Along the way, Juliet continues to point out different shops and locations that she thinks I should know about, like other library or a museum. I'm not very interested in either of those things, but I smile and nod and pretend that like I am. After a while, we leave the city behind and reach the waterfront, just like I usually do. The ocean looks much different at night, with the starlight and moon reflecting off the water. Far out at sea, there are a few lights that must come from boats, and sometimes lights in the sky from passing airships. We head down a small path to the boardwalk, where we look out onto the water. There are a few empty buckets sitting on the ground nearby, as well as some folding chairs. I point them out.
What are those for?
People like to fish off at this pier. They come at all hours, but I believe this spot is used for teaching lessons during the day.
Oh,
Ooh, lessons on how to catch fish?
That's correct. Is that something you're interested in?
Maybe. It's one of those things that I like doing as a fox, but I don't know if I'd like doing it the human way.
well, try it.
Should you decide you'd like to try, I'm sure there would be someone here who's happy to instruct you.
Yeah, maybe.
Aww. I don't want to commit to anything, but it couldn't hurt to come check this place out during the day.
I'm glad you found something that struck your fancy. Is there anywhere else you'd like to visit while we're out? Or should we return home?
Nah, I'm ready to head back. Is there anything for dinner?
I'm sure we can put something together.
Then let's go.
Since I actually know where we are now, I lead the way home with Juliet close behind me. It's another chilly morning in Wellington. I'm outside the Bell House waiting for Aspen.
People are gonna think I'm staking this place out. And for once, that isn't true.
Aw, mijo. It's after breakfast, but before the sun's up. Hi, McLover. Hi. It's been a while? I think so, yeah. How you doing? Aspen invited me for a free drink before they open. I'm starting to think I've been dubbed.
Anytime now.
I wrap my arms and bounce around to try to stay warm. Right as I'm thinking about picking the lock myself, the front door swings open and Aspen waves me inside.
So anyway, like I was saying, my uncle taught me this trick to make it taste better. You put a little bit of salt in the coffee and it brings out the flavor, right? Not too much. You don't want to make it salty, but just a little bit.
I've drunk coffee with salt and made me puke. You don't want that. How you doing, McLover? Hi, Fring. Hi, big girl. How you doing? Have you seen that I tamed a Brontosaurus in Ark? All by myself?
Sorry about that. I got a little held up.
Ah, I apologize, Yuri.
I was thinking maybe you forgot about me after all.
So the interesting story about that, Rain, was I was trying to hunt some dodos. Just for having at the base and get more eggs and such. And I hit the Brontosaurus by accident. So he started chasing me. So I am faster and I can just go far away without it hitting me. So I started putting arrows on it. And I tamed it. So lucky accident.
No, you're not rid of me that easily. I was just...
Ah.
I tried it and it's really good. Have you tried it? Remind me, I'll make you one. So then I was thinking, if I start doing that every time I make a drink, eventually people will start realizing that their coffee's better when I make it, but they won't know why.
Oh, Lena.
Talking to Lena. That can always take longer than you expect or plan for. But she and I often look the other way for each other on certain things. Such as letting you in before the store opens, for instance.
Oh, am I not supposed to be here?
That's cool!
As long as we open on time, it's fine, and Lena and I are the two fastest. You kind of have to be when she's involved.
What do you mean?
I'm sure you'll see. Come on, what do you want today?
Expect the menu. It's as unhelpful as ever.
Here's a paper copy, if that's easier to read.
She hands me a little printout menu. It's also distinctly lacking pictures.
Sorry, can't read it.
Oh, do you need a Korean version? I'm afraid we don't have one.
Oh, nah. Can't read any languages.
Oh, poor Miho. May as well have told her that the sky is green. Aspen stares at me in clear disbelief. This isn't the usual weird look. This is beyond that. She laughs nervously.
You're joking, right?
Aw, girl. I shake my head. She collapses onto a stool behind her, fanning her face with the menu in her hand.
I can't believe it. I just can't. So you haven't. Wow.
I can tell she really wants to say more, but holds herself back.
I suppose that explains a lot. Still, I just can't imagine.
Takes a moment, but she regains her composure.
Anyway, if you want to try something new, then how about our ambrosia latte?
Ooh, sounds delicious.
It's one of our seasonal beverages with apple and caramel.
I don't like it. Too sweet.
Apples and coffee? I've never had that before.
Yes, well, we're experimenting with the recipe still.
I said that we should try adding more cinnamon to it.
I don't even know where Lena comes from. Suddenly, she's just there.
Aspen said it would overwhelm the other flavors, but I add extra whenever I make one, and so far no one's complained.
Lena, are you serious?
Well, yeah. How else are we gonna find out which one's better? I'll make one for your friend too, and she can tell us which one she likes more.
Lena!
The other girl hurries back to the kitchen, clearly not caring about what Aspen was about to say. Aspen sighs and shakes her head.
Right, well, I have to open the registers and put on the coffee. I'll have your drink in a couple minutes.
Okay, thanks.
I hold up on one of the tall stools and wait, swinging my legs back and forth. Before long, the cafe fills with the smell of warm coffee and baking bread. It's enough to make my mouth water, even though it hasn't been long since I last ate. Aspen roams between the kitchen and the front area, always looking very busy. She checks and inspects what seems like every drawer and cabinet into place while getting ready. Lena's busy too, mopping and setting up chairs. At some point, she puts earphones in. Her music is so loud enough for me to hear from across the building. After a while, Aspen returns to my table along with a steaming paper cup.
Here you go, one ambrosia latte.
I pop the lid off so I can take a peek at the drink itself. It smells light and fruity with a swirl of caramel syrup. It's melting into the coffee and whipped cream.
Looks good. Hopefully it tastes good too.
I have a tiny little sip since it's too hot to drink very fast. The tartness of the apple actually goes pretty well with the coffee flavor.
It's a little sour, but it's not bad. Not as good as a fairy kiss chiller, though.
Well, I can't complain about that.
Ah. The chair squeaks against the floor as Aspen sits down across from me.
So, have you decided how you're going to spend your day?
Not yet. What about you?
There's still another 7.5 hours left on my shift, so I'll be here for quite a while. After work, I try to have a social life or get some writing done. Although lately I usually just collapse on the bed and take a nap.
Hey, me too! Without a bed, though.
Aww.
Yes, well, I'm sure frolicking through the flowers and chasing rabbits gets tiring.
Aspen, why are you so mean?
Ooh, are there rabbits around here?
Not for long, I imagine.
Say got you, mijo.
Speaking of which, have you thought about what I said yesterday? About getting a job? It seems you have more than enough time on your hands. You do know what a job is, right?
More or less. I mean, I've seen people at work before, but I've never had my own job before you ask.
Yes,
No wonders.
I'm aware. Anyway, you'd have money to buy things you want, and you wouldn't have to steal to get it.
But she likes stealing things. She's good at it.
What do I need money for, though? Juliet lets me sleep at her house, and she even gives me food.
I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but Juliet can't take care of you forever, you know?
I know.
Aww. Right now I'm still getting used to even living here. I haven't given any thought to what might happen later on.
I don't even know what kind of job I could get. Is there some place that would hire me to steal things?
Oh, really? Really? Going for crimes in this economy? Actually makes sense.
find a way to use those skills. Maybe you could be a security guard somewhere, or a locksmith.
Maybe. What exactly is your job anyway?
Well, as you know, I'm a barista. That means I make coffee and tea and hot chocolate and whatever else our customers ask for. Some people rely on our products just to get through their day, so I consider it to be a very important job. If we were to close or go out of business, there would be a great many people who would be distraught over it.
Wow! And you're gonna do this for the rest of your life?
Not for that long, I hope. It's not my passion by any means, but I don't mind it. It can be rather exhausting though, especially on busy days.
I can say she's selling me on this whole job idea.
What is your passion?
It's this.
Like she was waiting for me to ask, Aspen dramatically pulls out a small notebook and puts it on the table. It's the one that I see her writing in all the time. I lean forward to look at it closely. It's not very big, about the size of my hand, but it's mostly purple in color. There is an intricate gold pattern around the border. It definitely looks fancy. I could probably get a lot of money for this at the right store.
This is my writing notebook. One of them, at least. My passion is writing, bringing stories and characters to life, making people feel what I feel. There's nothing quite like it. So challenging, yet rewarding. It's both my favorite activity and also the most frustrating one.
Aww.
This notebook is full of story ideas, lines that I come up with, or other interesting details. One of the best parts of working here at the Bell House is that I get to meet so many interesting and inspiring people. For example, when you first came in, I wrote a brief note about you.
Ooh.
I never imagined that just a few days later we'd be having this conversation.
Trust me, I didn't either. What did you write about me?
For some reason, Aspen's face get a little red.
I don't remember, just that I wrote something. It's in another notebook, not this one.
Aww. She's getting all flustered. Like Rin when I talked with her. So cute.
My dream is that someday I'll be able to make a living from my writing. In
Aww.
fact, when I moved to Wellington a couple of years ago, that was supposed to be the first step. It's been taking longer than I'd like so far. Every morning when I wake up, I tell myself that I'm not going to sleep that night until I finish at least a chapter.
Aww.
But then by the time I'm done with work, all I want to do is pass out. Of course, that just puts me further and further behind. I've really only myself to blame, I suppose, but life doesn't make it easy for me.
You need your sleep. Don't put that much pressure on yourself. It's not healthy. Sighing, Aspen puts her notebook away once more while I sip my drink.
Saying it like that, I can't fault you for not wanting to get a job. I'm only here because I need some way to pay the bills. That's just the life of a starving artist for you.
Did someone say job? Are you getting a job here? Is this an interview?
Wow, Lina, chill out. From out of nowhere, Lina appears with a cup in her hands.
No, Miho's just a friend. And were you eavesdropping on us?
It's not eavesdropping if you're in public. You should learn to talk quieter if you don't want people to hear you. Like me.
Tell me you're joking.
About what?
Oh. Before Aspen can even answer, Lena turns to face me instead.
Anyway, that's too bad. We could definitely use the help. Hey, why not apply here if you're looking for work? I bet Aspen would put in a good word for you, right? I could do it too. It'd kind of be lying, I guess, since I don't know you that well, but you seem like an alright person. I mean, if Aspen trusts you, you have to be okay, I think. I can go get you an application right now if you want. I printed out a whole stack of them yesterday. Actually, it's the second stack, because the first one jammed up the printer and...
Lena, I am begging you to please be normal.
Poor Lena.
What? Tell me why it's a bad idea. Do you not think... What's your name again?
Miho.
Mia.
Do you not think Miho could do it?
No, it's not that. I'm sure she'd do great. It's just...
Wait, that sounds fun. Would I get to work with you?
Oh, she's gonna get red.
Yeah, we'd work together. Oh, you meant Aspen, didn't you? Yeah, she'd be there too.
Oh, Lena. Slapping her hands on the desk, Aspen stands up from the table.
It's certainly an idea. Perhaps one we should discuss later. Lena, you and I should be getting to work, don't you think?
Okay, boss.
Please just go and lock the door.
Okay.
Smirking, Lena heads towards the front of the store.
Feel free to hang out for a bit if you'd like, Miho. Although it's going to get busy soon, so I won't...
Oh, wait! I almost forgot! If you need something to do, come play tennis with me this afternoon.
Ooh.
Tennis?
Yeah, you know, you hit the ball back and forth over the net.
I know what it is. Is that your hobby?
For now, I like trying new things.
Aww.
I'll think about it. I should try something new myself too.
I wasn't asking. Anyway, you said it yourself. You're totally coming. So, I'll see you there.
Okay.
I can't help but feel I've been robbed into something here. It's true that I should at least give it a shot. Maybe I'll turn out to like it more than I expect.
Cool.
Lena starts to leave again, but then suddenly jumps back around to face me again.
Oh, right. There's one more thing.
How many more things does she have? I can practically feel Aspen's exasperation as Lena runs back and slams the cup she was carrying onto the table in front of
Try
me.
this. Tell me which one you like more. The one I made or the one Aspen made.
Okay.
With an unnecessarily loud sigh, Aspen goes and unlocks the front door herself. I'm over halfway done with Aspen's drink, but I take another gulp, paying attention to the mix of flavors. And I do the same with Lena's. Lena watches eagerly, fists clenched in excitement.
So, what you think? Come on, be honest.
I can't taste a single difference.
They're both good.
Sure, but which one's better?
Taking another sip of each, I try to detect anything that is different between them, but I can't. Unfortunately, Aspen saves me. She looms behind Lena like a phantom.
Lena, don't you think maybe you should go check the croissants?
Nah, I already looked at them earlier. A couple of them were kind of schoolish, but I tried to massage them back into shape. Don't worry, I watched.
Oops. That went through. For once, Lena's the one cut off as Aspen jerks on her apron strings as she flaps her wings to maintain her balance.
them again. Or maybe the muffins, if you haven't yet.
Fine, fine. We all know Miho just didn't want to hurt your feelings anyway.
Aspen releases her, and Lena walks off to the back of the cafe like an embarrassed cat, pretending it was her idea all along. After she disappears into the kitchen, Aspen sighs yet again.
I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. She seems nice.
She is nice.
That is certainly one way you could describe her. What I was trying to say earlier is that you can stay here if you want, but I won't be able to chat. Our first customers will be here any minute now.
That's okay. I'll probably go back to the library once I finish my drinks.
All right, I'll see you later then.
Hmm.
And don't feel obligated to finish both if you don't want to.
I'm gonna try. Bye!
Like Lena, Aspen also retreats behind the counter and starts filling the display case with pastries. I wonder if any of them are the croissants Lena was talking about. Sure enough, it isn't long before the first customer starts to show up. Aspen takes their order with that fake nice voice that she used when we first met. Already I've gotten more used to hearing her regular speaking voice instead. It's useful to know that even normal humans like her still pretend to be older people sometimes. I wonder why she feels like she has to do that. So far, she's one of the nicest humans I've ever met. After I finish up my first coffee, I toss the cup away, but hold on to the second. Drink it later or something. Aspen waves as I leave the bell house and start making my way back to the library. I've had my fill of wandering around for at least a few days. If I'm going to be bored, I may as well do it while I'm comfy. Job or not, Aspen is definitely right about one thing. I really need to find something better to do with my time. Okay, so what now? There is only one place that time will go by, and it's the Tai Tai Park. I'm gonna quick save just in case. Let's go back to the dam, see what happens there. No, I can't. No. The only way I can is at the park. Okay. After a few hours of sitting around at the library, I'm bored enough to take Lena up on her offer to play tennis. The only problem is I forgot to ask her where and when. Sometime in the afternoon, I go down to the bell house where an employee tells me both Aspen and Lena have left for the day. They give me directions to a place called Ha Tai Tai Park, which is where they say Lena mentioned before heading out. Follow their instructions and reach a big open area full of people on bikes, walking or just sitting in the grass. Wander around looking for any sign of Lena or people playing tennis. Finally, I spot the courts and make my way over. Out of a dozen of so people who are playing, it's hard to find Lena when I get there.
Yeah! Nice serve!
She runs back and forth, leaping and diving to hit the little green ball before it can touch the ground. She flaps her wings to keep from falling over when she does. Her partner, a tall boy with antlers on his head, looks exhausted. When he swings his racket, it looks like his arm might fall off at any second. When I get close enough, Lena notices me and stops me dive.
Miho! You're late!
Now that she's started, her partner takes the opportunity to hurry away, collapsing into the grass to rest.
Sorry, I wasn't sure what time I should come by. Or where.
Oh, right. I guess I should have told you. In that case, good guess.
I hadn't bothered telling her that I got help from one of her co-workers. Lena picks up a racket from nearby and offers
Ready
to me.
play?
I guess so. I don't really know the rules though.
Nah, it's fine. Me either. Just try to hit the ball, alright?
Okay, I can do that.
I take a spot on the other side of the net, trying to imitate the way other people are standing.
Alright, here goes.
Lena drops the ball and then knocks it towards me. I watch it carefully, and when it gets close enough, I swing. The ball goes soaring way over her head and falls into the grass out of sight somewhere.
Maybe a little less oomph next time. Let's try it again.
She serves the ball. Hi, Abby. How you doing? Serve this ball, and this time I just barely hit it over the net. Lena dives for it like before and sends it sailing back to me. The more we play, the easier it gets. Both of us miss the ball or knock it onto the net a lot. It's not too bad. You are both at work? Oh no, I'm sorry. I hope it gets easier. Finally, even Lena gets tired and we take a break to drink some water.
How long have you played tennis?
Like, today or in my life?
In your life?
She thinks about it a bit, scrunching up her nose.
About a week.
Wow!
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, how about you?
About half an hour, I guess.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. See? We're both trying new things.
The whole time we're playing, Lena keeps glancing away from me to watch the other players. Try to figure out what's so interesting, but can't.
Okay, break's over. Let's play some more.
We get back on the court and play for a little bit longer. Until the end of the hour. As everyone else starts to pack up and leave, I follow Lena, who puts away our equipment.
So, what'd you think? Did you have fun?
It was alright. I wouldn't mind doing it again, but I don't know if I'd want to play all the time.
Cute.
I can see why some people enjoy it at least.
Minute said it's nice, and it was a good way to burn off some energy.
That's good. They meet a few times a week if you want to come back.
Will you be here?
Not sure yet.
Even while cleaning up, she's still distracted by someone or something else. When the other players walk past us on their way out the park, Lena turns her head to watch one of them.
Ready, because we're planting trees here next time. Really exciting, right? If you want to help out, then come to me after.
I catch a snippet of conversation as the person Lena's watching a dryad goes by. Lena must hear too, because she instantly closes her eyes and puts her finger against the size of her head.
Planting trees. Planting trees.
She repeats the words to herself a few times, then her eyes snap back open.
Okay, got it.
Got what?
What I'm doing next time. I'll have to start studying up tonight so that I'm ready.
Okay, if you say so.
She has a crush on the dryad. She has a crush on the dryad. Doesn't she? I'm pretty lost, but maybe this is just how Lena is.
You should come too, if you're not doing anything. I'll tell Aspen to give you the details.
Sure, sounds good.
I'm not sure if I want to commit. Especially since Lena probably won't even remember me the next time we see each other. But playing tennis wasn't so bad, so I should at least keep my options open.
Good. Alright, see you then, Miho.
See ya.
Maybe goodbye. Lina heads off down one of the paths. I take a different one that leads me out of the park and back to the library for the rest of the day. With a tiny ding, the toast pops up, and I load it onto the plate with the other slices. I bring the dish over to the table.
Thank you, Miho. Go ahead and put it by the butter.
Oops, sorry. Let me get my bag out of your way.
Once the table is set, the three of us sit. I've gotten more used to the routine of breakfast and now when to do things like pasta and pepper without being asked. Every morning so far we have the same thing. Eggs and toast, but it's a lot tastier than convenience store food. And there are different spreads and fruits to change things up. Like usual, I'm the first to finish eating, followed by Aspen, who stretches with a content sigh.
Breakfast was as superb as always. Thank you, Juliet.
It's my pleasure.
The two of them saying this is part of the routine too. Usually Aspen would be getting up right now to leave for work, except this time she doesn't.
Don't you need to go, Aspen?
Is this your way of trying to get rid of me?
Ah, she bursts at me from over the rim of her cup as she sips her coffee.
Nah, I haven't thought about that. I was just wondering.
I'm not sure if I should be flattered. Anyway, I'm working a mid-shift today, so I don't have to go in until noon.
Will you be writing then?
Yes, I ought to. I'm about halfway through this draft, and I'm trying to finish it by the end of this month, so every minute helps.
Oh my, halfway already. That's excellent progress. I look forward to reading it when you're finished.
Don't give me too much credit. I still have to get there first, and you know how that's gone before.
All you can do is keep trying.
What are you writing?
A book. I've been working on it for a couple of years now, as long as I've been in Wellington.
Whoa, you're only halfway done? How long is it gonna be?
Only halfway. I wish it was as easy as you think it is.
Oh, poor Miho.
It takes time to plan the story and prepare to write, and then even after the drafting is done, you still have to edit it and fix it. Of course, the more you write, the better you become at it. And so sometimes you notice flaws in your story that you didn't catch before, so you have to go back or start over.
Oh no.
How do you ever get anything done then if you're always getting better? Don't you just have to finish it eventually?
Well, like I said, it's not that simple.
Alright, I'm kind of falling asleep. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a monster and some more water. So I'll be back. Don't leave. Alright, I think I'm back. Okay, monster. Let's go. Aspen clears her throat.
Anyway, it's difficult to explain to someone who's never written anything. Believe me, any writer would tell you the same thing.
Glance over at Juliet, who's intently watching her tea as she stirs it.
And you? Did you end up finding something to fill your time?
Oh, like a hobby. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Well, don't worry about it too much. It's supposed to be fun, not something you have to force yourself to do. Although I'm hardly one to talk, there are times where I want to do anything except write.
It's okay. At least you have something. Julia told me about movies, so I might try watching one of those. Have you ever seen a movie?
Once or twice, I'm sure.
Aw.
Actually, Miho, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
What's that?
Well, how would you feel about helping out around the library as a part-time job? I'll pay you for your time, of course. It would give you something to do during the day, and it would be a great help to me.
Really?
Aww.
But I thought you didn't need any help running the library.
It's true that I don't need it. The honor system has served me well for the day-to-day services, and I'm kept informed of any troublemakers. But in addition to the kind assistance from Aspen in the mornings, I also have to reshelve books, maintain the check-in and check-out logs, and more. I don't mind those tasks at all. In fact, I find them rather relaxing. But without them, I'd be able to devote more time to other pursuits. If you're uninterested, you're more than welcome to decline.
Seems so good.
You needn't worry about being kicked out or disappointing me. I'm perfectly content either way.
Helping around here doesn't sound bad at all. It doesn't sound very exciting either, but it's not like I found anything else I'd rather do instead. At least it's comfy in the library and super convenient. Having some money again would be nice too. It would be even better that there is no one trying to take it back.
Alright, I'll do it.
Juliet looks a little taken aback.
That was fast. Are you quite sure?
Yeah, I'll try it at least.
Of course. If you find it's not for you, then I won't be upset.
Aww, I love Juliet. Such a great one.
Why don't you take the rest of the week for yourself? And you can begin on Monday.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Excellent. I'll be looking forward to it then.
The two of them chat a little bit longer before Aspen leaves to go right, and Juliet goes to bed. I sing mostly quiet, thinking to myself, a job. That's something I've never envisioned having. I figured I'd just keep stealing until what exactly? I'm not too sure. Till I find my person, I guess. That goal has been all I've focused on for my entire life. Now spending time here in Wallington is actually making me plan things out in advance. When I stop and think about the future, it's a lot of emptiness and mystery. It makes me realize just how little I have to fall back on. That's why doing all these normal things like getting a job could be good for me. I don't know what might be useful someday. As for my person, I'm still always thinking about them and how I can find them. That part hasn't changed. For now, I'll just go with the flow and see where it takes me. Alright, so we have 2 places, 3, 4, 5 places where time will go by. Oh, we have even more. All the places time will go by, and there are 2 things that we can have people talking to. Let's go to the waterfront, see if we can fish. While trying to think of something to do, I suddenly remember the fishing lessons that Juliet told me about. I'm already pretty good at fishing as a fox, but it does have its downsides, like having to get all wet and ending up with scales in my teeth. None of some people go fishing for fun, so maybe I'll like it too. At the very least, it could be useful to know someday. Besides, it's not like I've got anything better to do. Down at the waterfront, there's a big crowd like always. The merchant booths that Juliet pointed out to me have long lines and clusters of people in front of them. Right along the water, there are fishermen selling all kinds of fresh fish. The smell mixed with salty sea air is making me hungry. I wander over to the spot that Juliet pointed out to me. Today there's half a dozen people with fishing rods in their hands, lines out in the water. They are all spaced apart, and behind them is someone who's giving instructions.
Hold on. Don't I know him?
I look closer. Sure enough, it's the man I met in on the mountain not too long ago who taught me what a kiwi is. He paces between the people fishing, adjusting their posture and giving them advice. There's another person helping me out, a younger guy who's untangling lines and preparing supplies. One of the fishermen waves at the instruction for help.
Hey, Mr. Kim, can you give me a hand? Coming.
Mr. Kim perfectly skips over and shows the person how to send out their line.
I need some help too. Well, which bait should I use?
That depends on the fish. Let's take a look.
He bounces around between the group before he spots me and gives me a big hearty wave.
Hello there, miss. Here for a bit of fishing?
I was thinking about it.
You've certainly come to the right place. First time fishing?
With a rod, at least. I usually do it with my teeth.
Oh, I can't say I've ever tried that myself, but if you'd like to learn how to do things our way, I'd be glad to show you.
Sure, why not? I came all this way.
That's the spirit. Here, why don't you go ahead and stand here?
Take a spot on the pier and fish the water. Mr. Game goes through how to hold a rod, how to put bait on the hook, and finally how to cast. Once he's done explaining, he steps back to give me some space.
All right, now let's see what you've got.
Right, so I stand like this and put my hand here.
I do my best to copy everything he showed me. Then with a flick of my wrist, I cast my line out to the sea.
Perfect! Nice job. Oh, I forgot to ask for your name.
Miho.
Nice job, mijo. Keep it up and you'll be a master angler in no time.
How long does it take to catch one?
Well, now that depends on the fish. It could be minutes or it could be hours. I've been after the same fish for years.
Oh wow.
Whoa! Don't you ever go home?
He laughs and I'm reminded of the first time we met up on the mountain.
I certainly do. But I always come back. Patience is the most important virtue, other than maybe a bit of luck.
Mr. Kim goes to check on the others while I stand here waiting. Doesn't seem like anyone else is getting a bite, so at least it's not just me. Suddenly, one of the other fishes yelled with excitement.
I got one! I got one!
They frantically start to reel in the catch. All of us gather around to watch.
Steady, steady.
They plant their feet firmly, reeling with all their strength, but it's clear that the fish is fighting back.
Can you help?
Of course.
Mr. Kim also grabs a rod, and together, the two of them manage to land their catch. I love that art. It's lovely. Everyone, including myself, gasps as a fish breaks through the surface, its red scale shining in the sunlight. Mr. Kim lets go so the fisher can admire their prize.
Whoa! And isn't she beautiful? Congratulations.
My stomach rumbles just from watching. Unfortunately, after a few more minutes of waiting for my own fish, I still don't get any bites. Finally, it's time to pack up and head home. Mr. Kim catches me before I can leave the pier.
So, what'd you think, Miho? Does it beat the ways you've gone fishing before?
It was okay. I didn't catch anything in the end. But it was cool to watch you and that other person get one.
It's like that sometimes. You just have to keep trying. I hope we'll see you around again sometime.
Yeah, maybe. Thanks for showing me all that stuff.
And yeah, it was a lot of just standing around. What he said about needing patience makes sense. But if I'm looking for something fun to do, then I'm not sure if this was exciting enough. It was kind of relaxing, and I do still think it would be useful to learn. Either way, I'm glad I came and checked this place out. Now, to go see if Juliet keeps any seafood in the fridge at the library. Once we finish eating breakfast, Juliet drums her finger on the table, looking thoughtful.
Miho, it occurred to me that perhaps I should give you the proper tour of the library now.
Oh yeah, if she's going to work there, it might be appropriate, yes.
That way, you have the weekend to get better acquainted with it if you need.
Tour? I think I've seen everything, right?
Pardon. I meant of the books themselves. Where to find each genre and what they are.
Oh, right. Sure.
Oh. So excited, Miho. I haven't really thought about the books. To me, they're all the same, but I guess that wouldn't be true for everyone else. Right now, I have the place memorized in the same way you'd memorize the battlefield. What places are out of sight, how to get in and out, and anything else that might be useful. I don't think there are many battles that happen in here, so Juliet's tour will probably be more helpful.
If you'd like, I can show you a couple of my favorite books.
Oh, Ben, they can't read.
That way, if anyone asks for a recommendation, you could at least make something up.
Okay, that's
That'd be great.
That's useful, yeah. Anything that makes it easier for me to make things up, it's fine by me. The three of us head to the entrance.
Let's start with the basics, shall we? As you know, this is the reference desk. It's where books are checked in and out, and where anyone who needs help can find it.
What kind of help do people ask for?
Usually, they need assistance finding a specific book. Or perhaps they need a recommendation for what to read next, as Aspen mentioned.
Hope they like the same books as her then.
Don't worry, I'll think of some that are more popular. Not my real favorites, which most people would be too bored to finish.
Juliet lets us into the actual rows of shelves. Stare down the books as I pass by, committing as many details to memory as I can. Even if I can't read the words, I can try to remember the colors and shapes and covers.
Over here is the children's section. It's got lots of picture books and beginner reader books. The shelves are shorter too, so that children can reach them more easily.
Oh, I've seen some of those around. Are adults allowed to read them too?
Of course. Parents read to their kids quite often.
Some people read them for fun, too. You gain so much more appreciation for the illustrations once you're older.
Indeed. We head over to another area.
This is the non-fiction section. It's for books about things that are true, rather than made-up stories.
I rarely visit this section, personally.
In a shady corner near Aspen's favorite table, Juliet taps a small sign hanging on one of the shelves.
This is the mystery section. Stories about detectives, murders, and other such subjects live here.
I do admire mystery writers. It's difficult to come up with a compelling one.
Indeed. We go around the whole library like this, with Juliet and Aspen pointing out all the other sections. Finally, we come to stop back at the desk where we started.
I do believe that's everything. Do you feel like you have a good understanding now?
It's hard to keep them all straight. Fantasy, history, cookbooks, biographies. I think I've got most of it though.
At the end, my head feels like it's spinning, and I know that I won't be able to remember everything as hard as I try. I do feel like I've gotten a better feeling for the place. At the very least, I could show someone where to find the restroom.
It is a lot to take in. Don't worry if you can't memorize it all right away. There's plenty of time to learn.
Even I forget where things are sometimes, and I've spent more time here than at my own apartment.
Thanks! It might take me a while, but I'll get it eventually.
I
Aww.
know you will. I have the utmost confidence in you.
If I'm going to do this, I may as well try my best. Maybe something good will come from it, and if not, I can always just leave.
Want me to show you the books I was thinking of now?
Sure!
I'll be off to bed myself then. Have a lovely day, you two.
Well,
Yeah, Juliet, sleep well.
Night!
Juliet heads upstairs while Aspen and I go back to the shelves.
to start with,
She leads the way to the fiction section, which is easy to remember since it's the biggest. Aspen runs a finger across the books as we move down an aisle. Aisle. I see her scanning the titles before she stops and taps the spine of one.
here we are, Wuthering Heights. I just returned this one recently after finishing my annual reread. It's a very tragic love story. The main character is rather terrible, I must confess, and there's an awful lot of death.
Wow.
But despite all that, it's beautiful.
That description definitely isn't what I was expecting.
People really like to read that stuff?
Sometimes, yes, you read to experience all kinds of different feelings.
Like with movies.
Besides, I think there's a kind of sad beauty to doomed romances like that. It really does put life in perspective.
If you say so.
You don't have to take my word for it. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you start working here. In the meantime,
I follow Aspen to the other side of the room, where there are a couple smaller racks of books near the corner.
do you enjoy poetry?
She can't read.
You mean like races and stuff? Guess they're okay.
That's pottery, isn't it? Welcome to dyslexia.
pottery. Poetry is
She clears her throat.
prose. Words in their best order. Poetry, the best words in the best order. Samuel Coleridge said that. He was a poet, but he's not the one I have in mind. I'll show you what he meant.
The book she selects looks old, very old. Has a green cover that's rough like a lizard skin, with the letters being faced gold.
Alfred Lord Tennyson is one of the most famous poets to have existed. I simply adore his work. Here, this is from The Lady of Shalott. Ahem.
She clears her throat again, even though it's only been a few seconds since the last time.
Willows whiten, aspens shiver. The sunbeam showers break and quiver. In the stream that runneth ever, by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot.
I barely heard past the first line.
Aspens, like your name. Does it come from this poem?
If only. Aspens are a type of tree. Mum loves them. More than she likes poetry, for sure.
Aww.
I do wish I'd been named after it, though.
She reads me the rest of it, which ends up being pretty long. It's kinda hard to follow, but imagining the fields and towers that she talks about is nice. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've been to Camelot before. Some of the details in the poem are quite right. Anyway, even if I don't really understand the poem, it's nice to listen to Aspen reading it, as there's no way I'll forget what that book looks like.
Alright, last one. I thought 3 would be enough to start, but you can always ask me for more recommendations if you need. I could suggest books until lunch, if I didn't stop myself.
I might someday. Even though I lived in the library for a few days now, I never really knew how many different books there were out there before.
Oh, believe me, this library isn't even a fraction of what exists. It's not that big for a library, in fact, just huge for a personal collection, which is really what it is.
How many books have you read?
I couldn't even guess. Definitely hundreds. Maybe thousands? I've never tried counting, but perhaps I should now that you mention it. It would be nice to look back on someday. Okay, here we are.
The book she takes to is laid out flat on an end table where more people can see it, rather than on the shelf.
Everyone knows the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grows up and can fly.
Everyone except me.
Aww.
Now you do too. Peter has a darling fairy friend named Tinkerbell, and he fights the dastardly pirate Captain Hook. Peter leads a group of boys called the Lost Boys, and they cause all sorts of trouble for Neverland, where they all live.
What do you mean he never grows up?
In Neverland, you never get older. So he stays a young boy for his whole life. Even when the girl he loves, Wendy, grows up and gets married, and someday dies.
You sure do like sad stories, huh?
I suppose I do. It's as Peter Pan himself says, to die would be an awfully big adventure.
Yeah.
Still, it's not like I only like sad things. Romance is my favorite genre, and not just the tragic kind.
Sit down on one of the chairs, since it seems like Aspen wants to have a conversation. May as well get comfy. Aspen sits down too, fidgeting with the strap of her purse.
Why is it your favorite?
Why? Well...
Her hands stop moving while she thinks.
In a book, things can be much more perfect than in real life. A moonlit balcony all alone, or a sunset kiss on the seashore. Real life is considerably messier. I've never been in love before, although I think it sounds quite nice. As I said earlier, people read to feel things.
Aspen, you've never been in love, but you have loved before. Don't take love for granted. Love is amazing in all its forms. So whether it's just friends for family or it's love for friends or family or even a partner, love is great, honestly. Just let yourself go and enjoy love. Because if you do, you're gonna feel better about yourself.
So until that time, living vicariously through other stories is enough. What about you? What about me? Do you ever hope to fall in love? I assume you haven't been in love before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, I haven't. I like being on my own.
Do you think maybe that would change if you met the right person?
You look into the side asking that question, Aspen, getting all flustered before. You are so cute, girl. You are so fucking cute.
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't thought about it much. Since everyone forgets me, there's never been a reason for me to care.
I suppose that's reasonable. Still, that must be...
Oh, Aspen.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Aspen. Girl.
Do you ever watch movies? Or TV? Just about everything has a love story in it nowadays, not just books.
Nah, not in a long time.
How long?
She sure asks a lot of questions, and they jump around topics so much too. I don't really mind, but I have to try hard to even remember the answers. All the places I've seen and days I've spent have mostly blurred together in my head.
I'm not sure. A few years? There was a really big crowd around a window, so I wanted to see what they were all looking at.
And? What was it?
I don't know what it was. I didn't speak the language there yet, and I didn't memorize the sounds. But on TV, there were these people in white suits bouncing around, and the people watching seemed really excited by it.
Aspen gasps.
Did the people on TV, do you remember by chance if the place they were hopping around looked like a desert, all rocky and empty?
Now that you mention it, yeah. How did you know?
The moon landing. He does a hand to her forehead in disbelief.
That was the moon landing.
No, I'm pretty sure I'd remember if the moon landed.
Mio.
Not like that, silly. It was when humans went to the moon for the first time.
Wait, they did?
Yeah.
Yes, and you saw it happen, apparently.
They must have had help from the Fableds magic, right?
Nope.
No, not this time. It was pure human ingenuity.
Wow.
You look surprised.
I am. I didn't know humans could do something like that.
Well, not just any human. It took a lot of work from a lot of people. It still does to this day. I can't believe you got to watch it live, though. What was it like?
Had a really good lunch that day.
I love her.
Everyone was so distracted that I was able to sneak into a restaurant that usually would have caught me.
Meow. She shakes her head.
That's all you can remember.
Oh, yeah.
It was some kind of pasta dish with a white sauce and lots of cheese.
Hmm.
I meant about... Oh, never mind. Anyway, I was just going to suggest asking Juliet about putting a TV in your room. Surely there's one in this place somewhere. It would give you something to do, at least. And you don't have to be able to read to enjoy the story of a good show or movie.
That's true.
Yeah, I might. I definitely need something to do other than walk around town all day.
Let
Hmm.
me know if you do. I'll bring over some movies for you to borrow.
What about watching them together? Huh, husband? What about that?
If I can't recommend books to you, at least I can do that.
Will do. I don't know where else I'd start anyway.
After checking her phone, Aspen stands back up.
I'll be more than happy whenever you ask. For now, not to be rude, but I'm going to go write for a little while. I'm working on the last couple chapters of this book before I'm finished, and I want to be done with it as fast as I can.
Hmm.
Oh, sure. Good luck.
To tell the truth, I'm always a bit relieved when someone else ends the conversation for me. I never know how to do it myself. I wave goodbye as Aspen goes off to her table by the window, pen in hand. Within moments, she's hunched over her notebook, writing. Alright. Oh. Let's go where we can talk. Since I don't have anything better to do, I decide to head back to the park to see Lena. My husband told me where and when I could find her, although we both know that Lena won't have any idea who I am. Making sure that I see Aspen and Juliet every day is hard enough as it is. Although I like Lena, I don't think I could put in the effort to have her remember me too. Maybe she start coming by the library in the mornings like Aspen does. Although I'm pretty sure that's the last thing Aspen would ever want to happen. Go back to the park where we play tennis and wander around searching for Lena. It takes a bit longer since I'm not looking for something as obvious as a tennis court. I finally find her in a group of people near some trees. All of them, including her, have shovels in their hands and are working on digging holes. Finally something I'm good at, although compared to tennis, it looks more like a punishment than a hobby. I walk over to Lena, who's barely made a dent in the ground. She waves when she sees me. I'm not in a familiar way.
Hi there! Here to volunteer?
Maybe? Volunteer for what?
To save the planet, duh! What does it look like we're doing?
Digging in the dirt?
Exactly! We're planting new trees to, help beautify the city of Wellington by promoting natural resources. I think.
This is the single part like she's reading off a label or sign.
If you want to help out, go talk to Cyrus. He'll get you all set up.
Lena points over at someone that I sort of recognize, the dryad that Lena was watching when we played tennis. Since I'm here, I might as well give it a shot. So I follow her instructions and walk over.
Hi there. I'm here to help out.
Welcome aboard. I'm Cyrus. Here's a sapling and a shovel.
Cyrus holds up a shovel in one hand and a small bucket with a tree in the other. I take them, doing my best not to drop the sapling.
Okay. I'm Miho. What do we do now?
First you dig, then you plant. Then you do that over and over until you get bored and go home.
Oh,
That
wow.
sounds easy enough.
Everyone says that at first. Good luck.
He starts to walk away, but then pauses.
Hey, quick question. Are you friends with that girl over there? The one with the wings?
Lena? Sort of.
Can you let me know if she... Actually, never mind. Forget it.
Okay,
Let me know if you need any help.
that was weird. This time he really does leave, walking around to check the progress everyone is making. Now that I'm all set up, I take the things he gave me and go back to where Lena is.
Good to go? Since you're new too, let's have a race. We can see who plants more trees by the end.
Before I can respond or ever think about it, Lena starts furiously hacking at the ground. Dirt flies like when I was building my dam. I watch her for a second, then start on my own. I don't really want to compete with Lena, so I go at my own pace. It's a little awkward. I could do this in seconds as Fox, but using a shovel feels strange and inefficient. Muscles I didn't even know I have start to feel sore. Only a few minutes later, Lena sprawls on the ground exhausted. It's only halfway done at best.
I didn't think it'd be so hard to dig a hole.
It's hard. While she's laying there, Cyrus comes around on one of his inspections. He stops and examines both of our handiwork.
Nice job, Miho. You're a natural.
Of course it's a fox.
Lena? Good effort.
Lena leaps to her feet, using her wings to propel herself into a standing position.
I wasn't taking a break. I was, testing the ground to see if it might be softer over here. Look, this one will be even better.
Before our eyes, Lena starts to attack the ground again, even faster than when she started racing me. Dirt sails over our heads as she tosses it away from herself, with some of it falling onto Cyrus's head. He looks strangely resigned.
Just don't hurt yourself, okay? I don't want to have to carry someone to the hospital again.
Carrie? I mean, again?
Yeah, she has a crush on him. I knew it. Lena asks questions without stopping her work.
It's a long story. Anyway, just be careful.
As he begins to leave, Cyrus puts a hand on my shoulder. Bends up and manages to not shake it off.
Keep an eye on her, would you?
Alright, we will keep an eye on Lena. I nod and Cyrus walks away. As soon as he's out of earshot, Lena comes to a halt.
Neo, right? I need you to break my arm.
What?
You... what?
Yeah, maybe that's a bit much. Maybe just a finger would be enough.
Why would you want to do that?
Oh, you're right! A broken leg would make more sense.
I'm not entirely sure we're having the same conversation. I decide to try a different approach.
So, are you and Cyrus friends or something?
Friends? Kind of. Unfortunately.
You don't want to be friends?
I want to be more than that!
Aww. For the first time ever, Lena looks around after speaking, like she's worried someone might have hurt her.
Like... best friends?
Oh, mijo, you're cute.
More than that! Like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh...
That explains why I didn't understand.
How's that going?
She sighs on her winged droop.
Well, you just saw pretty much. I know Cyrus from ballet, but I quit ballet, so I only get to see him at other stuff like this. But he's always trying something new every week, so I do too. But it's kind of hard to talk to him, especially when he's so busy. When I heard he was gonna come plant trees, I had no idea he'd be in charge. so I can't let him think I'm a slacker or bad at tennis. Not when he already thinks I'm a quitter.
Aww.
I think I get it.
The one thing I know for sure is that it sounds complicated. Good luck, Lena. The two of us go back to shoveling dirt, and eventually we go deep enough that we can plant the saplings Cyrus gave us. I carefully set mine in the ground and then cover it up, back up the same way I've seen other people doing. When it's time to wrap up, Cyrus makes one last trip around, collecting shovels and handing out water bottles. When he reaches us, he nods approvingly.
Good work, both of you.
Thanks.
I gulp down the water he gives me in just a few swings.
Yeah, thanks.
On the other hand, Lena still seems a little dejected. She doesn't even try to talk to Cyrus before he leaves. When the two of us part ways, she just gives me a half-hearted wave.
See you later.
Yeah, bye.
Aww, Lena. I'm not even sure that what she'd be doing next time, much less when or where. Maybe Aspen will tell me about it again. Digging holes wasn't exactly something I'd want to do a second time. Planting a tree was satisfying, and I'm curious to see how things go with Lena and Cyrus, if they go at all. Lena's kind of a lot, and as Aspen says, she's nice. Hope everything works out for her at least. Me too. Looking around, I noticed that I'm the only one left, so I toss my empty bottle in the recycling bin and start making my way back. Good girl, Miho. Recycling. Let's go to the waterfront. So, Mr. Kim remembers us. I decided to give fishing another try. Last time wasn't very successful, but maybe I'll have more luck today. When I get to the fishing spot, I see a few familiar faces. Mr. Kim is there, of course, dancing around between the students. This time he notices me right away.
Hello, miss. Is that a new face I spy?
Yep, I wanted to do some fishing today.
That's the kind of attitude I like to see. Let's get you started.
I take a spot on the pier while he brings me the same equipment as last time.
All right, let's start with the basics. Do you know how to set up your line?
I think so.
It didn't seem that difficult last time, but then I tried to recreate what I did before. I ended up getting a little confused.
Okay, so put the worm on a string. Oh, wait, no, the hook. The hook goes on the string, and then...
Worms on strings? That's another thing.
Oh, I messed it up.
The string has gotten all tangled on itself. No self-respecting fish is going to be interested in that.
Not to worry.
He laughs at his own joke as he comes over and quickly undoes the knot.
Okay, let's try again.
Takes some time, but eventually I'm ready. Fortunately, I remember this next part better. Stand like he showed me, hold the rod like he showed me, and let the line fly. I watch it excitedly as it sails overhead and splashes into the water.
Excellent job. Why, if I didn't know any better, I think I taught you myself.
Just a smile response. With my problem solved, Mr. Kane goes off to assist someone else while I turn my attention back to the sea.
Here, fishy fishy.
I'm ready. No fish will be getting away from me today. The instant I feel a tug, I'll be reeling it in, just like that other person when I came here before. Just gotta wait. And wait. And wait.
Nothing's biting.
It happens.
Mr. Kim pops up seemingly out of nowhere.
Just give the fish some time. You'd be shy too if someone started offering you a meal out of nowhere.
Was he? Oh, he's got me there. I nod and keep waiting, but I can feel the boredom sinking in. I was willing to give fishing a second chance, but if it's just going to be like this every time, then I probably won't be coming back. Suddenly I feel the fishing pole jerk in my hands. It takes me by surprise and I almost let go, but manage to hold on tight.
Oh, I think something's biting.
Reel it in! You can do it!
Right, read it in. To do that, my head is spinning as I try to remember what to do. Meanwhile, the reel is spinning as the fish, my fish, tries to get away. It smacks my hand, jolting my memory.
Oh, yeah.
I grab it and start turning it the other way, pulling the rod towards myself as I do. I can feel the fish, still out of sight, struggling against me.
Not today.
All the time I spent waiting has made me extra determined. I plant my feet firmly and keep reeling. Gradually the line gets tighter and tighter until finally the fish breaks through the water, dangling on the other end.
I did it!
You did it!
I bring the fish in to where I can see it more closely. It's not as big as the fish I watched get caught last time, but it's not tiny either. Just on the pier, someone else is reeling in a catch too.
So, what are you gonna do with it?
Huh? What do you mean?
Maybe he's asking how I plan to cook it.
Will you be keeping it or letting it go?
Let it go? I just worked hard to catch it.
Mr. Kim laughs. Behind him, the person who just caught something takes a picture of the prize and then tosses it back into the water.
Why did they do that?
Well, everyone has to eat. That's just part of life, and I love a good fish dinner as much as anyone. But some just enjoy the sport and the struggle, and release the little guy once he's been defeated.
I look at the fish I caught, its tail flapping gently. There's a mark on its mouth that doesn't look natural.
What's that?
I point to it so Mr. King can see. He only has to glance at it.
Looks like it isn't this fellow's first time being caught. That is a battle scar.
Scar. So he's been caught before and either got away or was released. It's up to me to decide if his slack runs out or not. Sighing, I unhook the fish and then toss it back into the water, where it instantly swims down and out of sight.
Try to be more careful next time.
Mijo, I love you. If I was hungry, it'd be a different story. But my belly is full and Juliet just wants shopping. But there's plenty of food at home, so I figure I might as well let this one go. Walking up beside me, Mr. Kim looks out at the sea.
You know, maybe that kindness will come back to you someday. I'm sure the fish appreciates it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how useful it is to have a fish owe me a favor, but I know what Mr. Kim means. I hand him back the fishing pole and box of lures that he gave me.
Done for the day?
Yeah, now that I've gotten to see what it's like.
Well, if you decide to join us again, the fish will be here. And so will I.
Maybe I will too. Thanks for the help.
Of course, of course. The pleasure is all mine. Have a good day, miss.
I wave and head back to the pier. After another day spent entertaining myself around town, I decide to take Aspen's advice and ask Juliet about the TV. The light is on in Juliet's study, meaning she's in there. I knock on the door and get an instant response.
Come in.
The study hasn't changed at all since I was here a couple days ago. Except there aren't any bats in the corner this time. Just me and her.
Hi.
Good evening, Miho. What brings you here?
I'm a little bit worried about how to say this. Usually I just take everything I want. Lately I've started saying yes when people offer me things. But going in and just asking for something? I'll have to do it sometime.
I had a question. Yesterday, Aspen said I should ask about getting a TV in my room. That way, I'd have something to do.
Oh, that is a good idea. I take it today wasn't particularly exciting either.
Not really. It was fine. Nothing bad happened. I'm just...
I don't want to say I'm bored. What if she thinks I'm blaming her or ungrateful? Bite my lip, trying to think of a better way to put it, but she seems to read my mind.
Bored? It's all right, you can say it. An empty room would be boring for anyone. I believe there should be a television somewhere around. Let's take a look.
I follow behind her out of the office. Julia takes me down one of the hallways I've never been down, and where I don't think I've ever seen the lights turn on. We pass by several doors.
What are all these rooms?
They've been all kinds of things over the years. Bedrooms, studies, playrooms. But now they're mostly just storage.
We stop in front of one door, indistinguishable from the rest.
I believe this is the one.
It's not locked. Juliet just opens it normally. Inside is dark and dusty. The window is covered with heavy curtains and don't let any light in. In other words, what you expect from a vampire's house. There is tons of junk leaning against the walls, like the faded bicycles and a dresser that's missing a drawer.
Ah, there it is.
Juliet points and I see what she's looking at. There's a TV in one corner, with scores wrapped around itself and a thick blanket of dust. We both walk over and I wipe some of the dust away. It immediately blows into my face.
Miho, are you alright?
Mijo. Still, I back a few steps away.
As you can tell, it's been a while since I've come in here.
Much more careful than me. Juliet cleans off the
I
TV.
believe it should still work though.
Okay, I can move it to my room then.
It's alright. I can take it.
Juliet effortlessly lifts the TV up and begins to carry it to my room.
Whoa.
I know for plenty of experience that TVs aren't exactly easy to lift.
I need to remind myself to never piss her off.
Aww. I hurry after her, arriving at my room just as she sets the TV down in the corner and plugs it in.
Let's see.
She presses the power button and with a soft buzz, it comes to life.
It works!
Indeed. I'm relieved. Let me try to remember how to use it.
It's kind of slow, but she managed to explain all the different buttons and what they do, and how to use the remote. It doesn't seem that complicated, but also I never learned how to do it either. Once we make sure it's not gonna die or anything, Juliet leaves me on my own with it. Change through all the channels, getting an idea of what there is. There are some channels with cartoons, which I know they're meant for kids. There are also some shows with real people in them, but they don't make much sense to me. Maybe if I watched them from the beginning. There are also plenty of ads. I recognize more products than I do shows. That probably has more to do with my lifestyle than anything else though. Even flipping through stations constantly, I do find myself having much more fun than I was just napping or walking around. See why some humans do this all day. Eventually I go back to one of the cartoon channels, even if they are for kids. They are easier to follow along with. Pick one and leave it running, climbing into bed to watch. I end up spending a few hours watching until I fall asleep at night. Having something else to follow along with and think about is a nice distraction from having my own doubts and worries creep up on mine. This is what a normal life is like, and maybe it's something I could get used to after all. Right. You know what? I'm gonna leave it here because my mind is not the best. I think I'm getting sick, I believe. So I'm gonna save. 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 Okay, what if? Save. We're in save. Empty save. Watch and learn. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here because my mind is not at best right now, and I'm getting a headache. So I'm gonna.
Bye-bye.
I think that was Yuri. On the menu, when you click exit, I thought it was Yuri saying bye bye. Ah, no. I can't be sure. Okay, let's go to see who's live right now because my mind is not at its best. Oh my, but that was amazing and I loved it. Let's see. Who do we have in? I think I know who I am going to raid. Because she raided me not long ago. Although I can raid her easily. And I haven't had the chance to raid. But what about someone that is playing Please Be Happy? Let's see. Let's see who is playing Please Be Happy. No one is playing Please Be Happy. Okay. I want to go a little bit with Sparrow's Life. Grand Blue. My hero is also alive, and everyone's alive today. I don't know who to raid. Okay, I'm gonna rate GT. She's amazing, she's lovely, and I'm doing her model on my free time, so let's go say hi. I'm sorry if my mind wasn't in the right spot. I'm so sorry. I fallen sick, I think. Oh no, that's not new. I've been sick most of the time this year. And we are only on February. Nice. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for just being lovely. Thank you for everything. I will be back on Saturday for some community games. They will not be streamed, so if you want to, go to my Discord and get informed. We have a vote to see what game I'm going to play. If not, I will be back on Sunday for some art for subs. So if you're sub, you will be able to watch without having to watch just a preview. Until then, please stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember that I love you all. See you soon.